from Surprise in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic sparkling day. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast number 2082, Self-Care Sunday. So after yesterday, not feeling very well, starting the day off very rocky and all the stuff that happened after that, I woke up today feeling not 100%. So I figured I am taking the day off from everything, from sorting, from everything. And I am just going to take self-care of me. And it worked out brilliantly because now I am feeling well rested. I am feeling back to normal again. At one point, I had an itchy throat thing going on, got rid of that, and feeling a little more like my normal self on a Sunday evening. So I was very appreciative for the fact that I got to have a self-care day, and it was awesome. So we got up this morning and went for our walk. That one kind of felt a little wobbly. I did. I felt a little wobbly on that walk, which I wasn't, probably because I hadn't eaten. I typically don't eat before we go out for a walk, but I do try to have something to eat, just like a couple of baby carrots or a couple of cherry tomatoes, something just small and quick that I can grab. Zeffie gets her medication, her treats, and then we go for a walk. Got home, still feeling a little off, so sat down for a bit, ended up falling asleep on the couch for a little bit. Woke up feeling very lightheaded, so I was like, okay, we need to get some sustenance into the body. And the stomach was sort of like doing this flip-floppy thing, and I was like, okay, toast. So actually, no, sorry, we didn't do that. We didn't do toast. I've got some naan bread, some naan rounds, and I put them into the air fryer. Just needed them just heated up just a little bit. And while I was doing that, in my little personal blender, I put in eggs and cottage cheese and some seasoning, mixed it all together. And all this, everything I put in was good to help settle the stomach. So cottage cheese probably not, but it went in there anyway. And I blended it all together and then put it in the pan, cooked it all up, and then served it on top of the naan bread with some greens, with some salad greens and some tomatoes. Actually thinking about it, it probably wasn't that, but it felt better for me because it was high protein, low carb, and the nutrients from the vegetables as well seemed to help settle things down a little bit. So I thought, okay. And then Zeffie decided she wanted to go lay outside. It wasn't yet up to 93. So we were like, okay, let's go sit outside for a bit. Again, we fell asleep out there. Came back in. By this stage, it's probably about 10 o'clock in the morning. This all happened before 10 o'clock this morning. And then the throat was starting to come in like I do when I feel a cold coming on. I was like, okay, cold bomb time. And so got my oils together, made a cup of tea. Got of lemon, lemon, ginger, and manuka honey, one of my favorite teas. So got that organized, made up a thing with yogurt. Was it yogurt? Shoot. Yogurt protein powder, super greens, which is a type of protein, which is a powder supplement to put into the drink. There was some chia seeds in there. There was some frozen fruits in there. Some cranberries. What else did I put in there? I can't remember. But I blended the liquid and the powder sides together, and then poured it over the other with the chia seeds in there, so it kind of made like a chia pudding, and I stuck that in the fridge for later on, and then made myself some toast and had that because by this stage I was feeling hungry again. But just everything I did today was just sort of like, it's self-care day. There were a couple of things that I do because I have a social media daily method of operation, and I did most of that today. So I got most of that out of the way and just basically relaxed for the rest of the day, played a couple of games on the phone. And then what did we do then? Oh, then we had lunch or the afternoon snack, which I'd made with the yogurt, with the Greek yogurt chia pudding thing. Then what else did we do? And then we just basically relaxed for the rest of the afternoon. I'm currently blitzing my way through the Jag TV series that was on in the early 90s through, mid 90s through. There was 10 seasons. In fact, in this season, where I'm into season 8, I've got 2 seasons left to go. And on episode 20 and 21, I'm up to episode like 5 or 6 of season 8. But at episode 20 and 21 is when they introduce NCIS with Special Agent Jethro. Jeepers, I watched that program for years. Gibbs. Mark Harmon. So they introduced the NCIS series. They have that continuing thing where it goes through 2 parts, and that introduces the NCIS program. A characters that's sort of like the pilot for NCIS, and then they said it was 5 months later after those 2 episodes aired. 5 months later is when NCIS started broadcasting as the program that it is today. And I don't even know how many seasons they're up to now. I think it's like 17 or 18, something around there. But so I've got that to look forward to. I've got that coming up. Got a few episodes to go to get to that one. So I won't be getting to that anytime this week. Maybe this week. Who knows? Might be next weekend. I don't know. Just every now and again, I'll just pick a classic TV show and say, let's go through this and see what happened. And Jag, I saw bits and pieces here and there over the years. Never actually watched the whole series. So this has been interesting going through that and going from when they first started, cell phones were not in existence at that time, watching them to bringing cell phones into the thing. They didn't do it. It was interesting with 9/11 though, because they were putting the dates up beforehand, and this was like leading up to 9/11, and then they jumped from a program that was dated in August to one that was dated in October. So now we're post 9/11. So that was kind of interesting how they handled that, and and how they're hunting for the terrorists and everything else is going on. So it's kind of interesting. And didn't realize not Mark Harmon. What's his name? The guy that plays the main character in there, the one who plays Harmon Rapp, his real life wife is in the series as well, and she's the one that is involved in episodes 20 and 21 because she's the one that they come to the NCIS come to investigate. So I'm not going to give the plot away if you haven't seen it. So I'm trying to figure out what series to come up with next, but I've still got 2 seasons to go, and the seasons are around 23 episodes, 23, 24 episodes. I think it's like 37 episodes in total. I don't know. All I know is I'm up to like season 8, episode 4 or 5, somewhere around there. Anyway, so just been having that playing in the background and playing around with some other stuff, and because I can't keep my hands have to stay busy. So I've been playing. I did go and play in ChatGPT for a bit, just to ask questions, just asking random questions to see what it will come back with. And so, help me create this. What do I do to do this? If I want to do this, what steps do I need to take? And just asking about creating stuff and looking at stuff. And if I want to do this in this particular program, how do I do it? So asking it for step-by-step instructions on how to do that. So it's just been a very quiet day around here. We've just been chilling, relaxing, napping, doing next to nothing. It's really funny. My oldest grandson, he texts me every now and again. So I asked him what he was doing. He says, nothing. I go, are you breathing? He goes, yes. I said, then you're doing something and you're texting me. So that's something else that you're doing. So besides breathing and watching TV and napping and taking care of self and playing around on ChatGPT, and what else was we doing? Oh yeah, making meals and making sure I stay hydrated. Otherwise, I've done nothing today. I was going to do laundry today, and it was just sort of like, no, we need to break from everything. We need to break from everything. And I kept thinking, oh, maybe we'll go for a drive in the car. And I was like, yeah, it would be nice to get out of the house, but I really don't feel like going out. I really don't feel like driving anywhere. I was like, it's Sunday. Sundays we go and we do takeout. And I'm like, we haven't done breakfast takeout in like 3 months. It's been like 3 or 4 months since we've gone out on a Sunday morning to get breakfast from somewhere. And I was sort of like, and I started going through all the takeout places, and I was like, oh, what do they have on there? Yeah, no, nothing appeals on that menu. What about that menu? Yeah, no. Oh, those might be good. Nah. It's been one of those. It's been one of those days. It's one of those days that would have driven Brad nuts, because he would have said, well, what about if we do this? Yeah, no. I mean, he would have said, well, let's go out for brunch. And I'm going, okay, where are we going to go? And he'll start suggesting places. And he says, well, where do you want to go? And I'm like, well, you make up the decision. Says, okay, let's go to. And I'm like, yeah, no. He says, you told me I could choose. I went, yeah. He goes, well, where do you want to go? I says, I don't know. So he just starts, just tell me we're going and I'll go get dressed and we'll go, type of thing. So, yeah, that's how we used to deal with some of those things. So like, right, one of us had to make a definite decision. Otherwise we both sat there going, well, what about, and then the other one will go, yeah, no. But yeah, so we've sat outside. It was hot. We've sat inside. I did have to change the batteries in the thermostat though, because this little triangular thing came up with an exclamation point in the middle of it, and I thought, I wonder what that is. So I had to figure out, first of all, what thermostat is this. That took a couple of minutes to find the right one, because all I had was the picture of it and what was written on the outside. So I finally found one that had the same screen of what mine looked like. Mine had the writing in the same place, had the screen was all the same layout. And so I went in and looked at the user manual. It said batteries need replacing. It's like, great. So I was like, how do I take this thing off? And so I read the instruction manual. So I went over, got my 3 AA batteries, went over there, changed them out and all that. And it said it was 85 in the house. I'm like, no, it's only 75. It took a while for it to recalibrate itself to what the actual temperature was. So yes, that was our fun and excitement for the day. Now we're about to go for another walk. And I'm like, I really don't want to go for a walk. But my Zephyr girl needs to go for a walk. So for her, I will suffer. So what stuff did you get up to today? Did you have just a nice quiet day? Was it just a PJ day? I love PJ days. The only thing is on PJ days, I still have to get dressed to walk the dog morning and night. And then the rest of the time, and by the time I get home from the walk, it's like, I really don't want to put my PJs back on, even as comfortable as they are. So yeah. Anyway, we're going to go out for our evening stroll. At least we don't need jackets at the moment. It looks really weird though, because my pants pocket has this bulge in it where the container is with her treats and marshmallows, which I think I need to fill that up before we go. I have to check that. Anyway, but we're out of here. Self-care days, very important. Take care of self. Listen to your body. If your body is telling you we need rest, then rest. I am the worst. Brad would have told you that I'm the worst one when it comes to, like, if I got a cold. If he got a cold, you would think he was on his deathbed. He would be like, oh, I ache everywhere. This hurts, that hurts. I can't do that. Can you please make me? I got a cold. He would get the flu. Every time, guaranteed, he'd get his flu shot because he was on chemo, they insisted he had to have the flu shot. And he goes, what about her? And the doctor looked at me and went, no. and Brad's like, why do I have to have it? She doesn't. And he goes, because of her past experience with flu vaccinations, we're not risking it. Because if she's out sick and you're out sick at the same time, there's nobody to look after you. And she's doing fine without it, so she doesn't have to have it. You do, because you're on chemo. And he's like, but he would take his flu shot. And then 2 weeks later, he would be down with a full-blown case of the flu. Every time without fail. So anybody who turns around and says the flu, oh, it's a dead virus, you don't get the flu from it or anything else, I will tell you this. I have had a flu vaccination once. I was so sick from it with the flu. 2 weeks after I had the shot, I was so sick. I was off work for 2 weeks. I could barely move. I could barely walk. COVID was easier to deal with than the case of the flu I had when I had my very first flu vaccination. I have never had the flu since. I have never had a flu vaccination since. I have not been vaccinated against COVID. I have had COVID once, and that was in January of 2 years ago, 2023. It was a few days before I was meant to go on a cruise. I was so pissed off because I had to miss the cruise. I was so upset about that. But that COVID was much easier for me to deal with than the flu that I got 2 weeks after vaccination, my very first vaccination with the flu. Never had the flu since, never had COVID's the flu, so yeah, I've had it once since then. But I got through COVID so much easier than I did through the flu that I had after a flu vaccination. And I had told the doctor, but this is pre-COVID. So I told the doctor what my reaction was to the flu thing, and he says, yeah, you're not getting that. I'm sort of like, thank you, because I was going to refuse to take it anyway. But anyway, but yeah, so Brad would always get the flu, and he would be like, he was at death's door, and he would just be like, oh, I feel so sore, I'm so sick, and everything else. And I go, would you just shut up and get up and get moving? If I got a colds I would get regularly. If I got a cold, what was I doing? I was not laying down going, woe is me. No, I'm up. And I absolutely hate house cleaning. I hate housework. I hate having to clean. I don't like vacuum. Well, vacuuming's okay. You kind of have some fun with that. You can dance while you do that. But I hate cleaning bathrooms. I just detest housework at all. So we would have a housekeeper come in every other week to do all the housework stuff for us. Kitchen, I will keep that clean, not a problem. Kitchen is my domain. I keep that place sparkling. But everywhere else in the house, I am not that person. But Brad always knew when I was sick with a cold because I would clean the house. I would clean it from top to bottom, front to back. I'd be in there scrubbing the bathroom, both bathrooms, the showers, the toilets, the hand basins, washing the floors, vacuuming. Yeah, I would be doing, and I would even be putting the laundry on and through the dryer and folding it and putting it away. Brad's job was to put the laundry on, put it through the dryer, then I would fold it, iron it, put it away if anything needed iron. And we always made sure we had stuff that didn't require ironing. I don't mind ironing so much. It's just a pain. So we had our little system. So he knew when I was sick because I refused to sit down and give into the cold that was trying to take hold of my body. I am knocking back the vitamin C like crazy. I OD on vitamin C when I get a cold coming on. My tea was going down. My lemon, ginger, and manuka honey tea was going down like through the gallons. I was doing all of my essential oils, everything to prevent this thing from taking hold and getting rid of it. And even though my body was tired and saying we need rest, no. This one, when that happened with my body, I was cleaning house. I was scrubbing. I was washing floor. And Brett always knew he learned very quickly not to say a word. Because if he mentioned me even sitting down, he was likely to get his head snapped off. I don't know what it is about when I get that way, but even if I was like yesterday when I was sick, we rested, but I did do some house cleaning yesterday. Didn't do the whole house. I got some stuff done, but then my body was just like, I need rest. So we haven't done any housework today. I still have dishes in the sink from breakfast and lunch. All my dishes today are still in the sink. They haven't even been rinsed, washed, or anything. The only thing I've washed today was my blender when I used it. Yeah, that's the only thing I've washed today. And my knives. When I use my cooking, my sharp knives and everything else, they always get washed immediately and put away. Not good to have knives with food stuff sitting on them. Anyway, but that's it. I'm out of here. I'm going to go take my Zeffy girl for a walk, and then we're going to come home and chillax for the rest of the evening. Get ready for another super fantastic sparkling week. It is going to be an amazing week this week. There is so much stuff that is going to happen this week. It's going to blow my mind. And what is it? I have no clue. I'm just going to go around things as I normally do. I've got a couple of orders I need to put in today. I need to put in this week. So they'll be going in either tonight or tomorrow. Excuse me. I've got the burps and the hiccups coming on now. So I am out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic sparkling evening. My question for you is, what do you do for self-care day? Do you take a day off for self-care, and what do you do? Please put your comments on the video on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, not on Facebook, because they'll be gone in 30 days as Facebook is going through and deleting all the videos, any lives that are 30 days old. For the ones that are older than 30 days when they started this process, I have until like the middle of July to get them downloaded from my Facebook page and uploaded to my YouTube channel. So we're working on that too. And with that, I am out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic sparkling evening. We'll catch you guys back here tomorrow evening around 6:30 because I have my AI class on tomorrow night. And we'll be with you around 6.